Welcome. Welcome to the We're Pissed show. Welcome to the I don't know what the fuck's going on with my lighting show. I'm just probably gonna shut it off. Let's just shut that shit down, right? Just turn that off too, right? Okay. So the court has pissed literally everyone the fuck off. The fuck off. Women, men, intersex, non-binary, LGBT. There's a select few. There is there is a select few that Odyssey lay down, that are not mad about this. But it's not the only thing that they've changed this week. And if you don't know, they changed the Miranda rights, so you cannot sue a police officer if they don't Mirandize you. If you don't know what that is, here in the States, that's the you have the right to remain silent. Sound is low, bitch. Why didn't you say something? But they not only took away rights of women in certain states. In my state, thank God, that hasn't happened, but it could. I mean, think about this very strategically. They are planning on going to a federal level. You can't tell me that they're not. So, if a police officer, and this ties in with everything that's going on. If a police officer punches you in the face, puts you back in the patrol car, and starts asking you a bunch of shit questions without Mirandizing you, the Supreme Court has ruled you can't sue them. They can now use that as evidence in the court of law. So, if you go to a protest, and I'm not saying you should, because I don't know. I mean, showing up on the streets is great. But if you go to a protest and you get arrested, know your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of fucking law. And if you do not have an attorney, one will be appointed to you. Those are your rights, okay? Write them down on your arm if you can't remember them. Write a phone number down on your arm for someone who, not on your arm, somewhere concealed, for someone to bail you out. Write the phone number of, I can't remember the name of it, but do your research before you go to a protest, all right? Because it's fucking insane. All right? So we've lost our bodily autonomy. We have less rights to our body than a fucking corpse. And we've also lost the rights of being Mirandized and holding police accountable. And that's not all they're coming after either. And I know people are going to leave. Oh, this is a DID channel. Bitch, it affects you too. If you have not... If you do not live in our country, fine. But if you live in our country, the U.S. fucking A, this does affect you. And you want to know why? Because this is going to affect HIPAA laws. You now no longer have the right. Yes, use that right. Do not speak jack shit to a police officer. You do. You say, I want my lawyer present, and I'm holding myself to the right to remain silent. And that's all you fucking say. You don't say jack shit else. Because they will use it. Oh boy. This is going to affect HIPAA laws. There's already been a couple of people that have almost died from this. But not only is this going to affect our bodily autonomy in pregnancy, and the fact that you might not want to die from a pregnancy, which is a valid concern. I am glad that you care about everyone affected. Thank you for being here. Now they're coming after contraception. They don't want condoms or birth control available to the public, which there are websites that have accessible. Odyssey, come here. They have accessible birth control sent to your door anonymously. Thank fuck for that. Yes, our grandparents did have more rights than us, but they're coming after birth control. They're coming after any contraceptives. They're coming after same-sex marriage. They're coming after the privacy in the bedroom. That means same-sex sex and biracial sex and sex out of wedlock. And then they are also going to have to come after biracial marriage. They're not saying it out loud. They're not putting it on paper. But that is what they are fucking saying to us. Because that is Roe v. Wade. It is all the cases that followed after that gave us all the rights that we have currently. They're also coming after women's rights to vote and people of color's rights to vote. Be pissed. Be rageful. Be upset. Yeah, I know. Yep. Oof. So, women, uterus owners in the United States now have less rights than the fucking women in the Taliban. Think about that. The Taliban. So, what are we gonna do about it? We're just over 60% of the population of the fucking world. 4th of July, we're gonna hit them where it hurts. We are not going to buy jack shit. We are not going to go anywhere. And if you have to work, wear black. 3rd through the 5th, we are hitting them in the fucking wallets. Because why should had to turn this a little bit. Why should we stand back? Why should we riot when they're beating us down and arresting us? Why should we write letters when what we can do is much more powerful than that? We take away the money and collapse the fucking economy. So, if you're going to go protest, do it safely. Try to stay out during the day. If you see a fellow person of color, stand in front of them. Turn off your biomechanics on your phone. No thumbprint, no face recognition, because they can track you through that. For those of you who don't have a period or can't have a baby, download them period tracking apps and fill it with false data. Why? Because if more and more men and women and non-binary folk who cannot have children start to fill up those datas, they're going to start to pull those datas. And then they're going to sell those datas. And then it's going to be false data. So, I know that this isn't the biggest platform in the world. There's only 31 of you here. But thank you for listening to what I have to say, because what I have to say is what women of color and people with uteruses all over the country are voicing, and what we want to convey to make them realize. It is absolutely terrifying to think what can happen right now because of ectopic pregnancies. Oh, it's already happened. I know we're going to have another nursing shortage because of this bullshit. We are going to have a doctor shortage because of this bullshit. Trust me, I know. Come to Oregon. Come to Oregon. Come to Washington, California. Come to one of the states that are not going to. Um, yeah. Yes. Don't take pictures or videos. I would. The boycott. I would absolutely love to extend it for the entirety of July, but unfortunately, people do have to eat. We do have people with childcare. If you are going to take part in a rent strike, I would not suggest actually doing a rent strike on a landlord because they can kick you out much easier than someone that is has like a big complex that has like 5 different complexes, you know. So as much as I would love to say boycott the entire month, 3 days is more than enough to fuck them up and collapse the economy if we band together and do it. Women make up 60% of consumer rates, or 70%, I can't remember. We make up over 50%, at least, you know, like 70 to 80% of consumer rates. We buy a lot of clothes. I mean, that's gay men too. That's non-binary folk too, but we buy a shit ton of clothes. Saddle. Buy a shit ton of clothes. We yeah, come to the West Coast, honey. We love you here. Um and if we go off and we don't buy anything for 3 days, no gas, no train tickets, no bus fare, no Amazon, no medication, buy your medication early, pick up on gas early, buy your food early, get them clothes for going out and saying fuck you to the government on the 4th early. Buy all that shit early. Get your travel fares covered early. Do everything you need to do way ahead of time because we are shutting down the country. That is what women seek to do right now. That is, I keep saying women, but I mean people with uteruses. People who are affected directly by this law. But again, if you think this law doesn't affect you, it does. Law, I keep saying law, but the case that's been overturned, and it is laws in some states now. It's fucked up. It's very fucked up. And I have a cold right now, so I was gonna, put on my face, shave the side of my hair, wear something nice, but I don't feel good. I don't feel good, and I am, yes, it is July 3rd through the 5th. On July 4th, we are wearing black. If you're going to work and you have a uniform, tell your employer to shut the fuck up. At least you're at work. At least you're not boycotting going to work. And wear black. You live in New York, upstate. The town you went to school for is red and filed to fill out census because he told his supporters to. Oof. You live paycheck to paycheck because it's harder to buy in advance. Well, I'll do my darndest. Just for 3 days. Just for 3 days. It could be the worst time to do it, but honey, we don't have a fucking choice. We do not have a fucking choice in this matter. Our rights are being violated. And again, if you think this is not affecting you, you're dead wrong. Because at least here in the US, this is turning into some pre-government bullshit. This is turning into we are God-fearing country. Bitch, we came here to be separated from church and state, or to have a separate church and a separate state. That's what we came here for. Hey, stop it. Yeah, no, I know. And if any of y'all need a place for a second, You got our email. Anyway, we came here because we have a separation between church and state. We are trying. The literal reason why we left fucking Britain is because we didn't want to be controlled by the church. All right. Yeah, I see y'all commenting about that Handmaid's Tale shit, and I understand, but we're trying to make that not fucking happen. We're standing up before it's too late, because they haven't heard us yet, but they are going to fucking hear us now. They have no choice. They pissed off the wrong generations. They pissed off the wrong side of the population. Uterus owners, not odors, uterus owners make up over 60% of the population of the world. And you pissed off the wrong people. That's what you just did. That's what you just did. It's not gonna stop. They for those of you who weren't here when I was talking about what they're coming after next. Yes, gay and trans people need to get married ASAP. Absolutely. Because Roe versus Wade, this is literally the law that was the baseline for all the laws after this. This is more than abortion. This is contraception. This is regulating the body. This is regulating what you can and cannot do in a bedroom, who you can and cannot marry. There are officials talking about executing people in the LGBT community for providing information to the youth about being LGBT. So this is, they're saying this in broad fucking daylight too. Like, this isn't just oh, we're hold on. I gotta fix this because it's messing with me that my face is like contorted, or not contorted, but so tiny. I want to be bigger. Hold on, guys. I don't want to be that big. Here we go. My greatest hope in all this is the fact that they're so impotent they can't wait for things to reach a new normal, and nobody can get okay with this when it's all happening at once out in the open. Exactly. There are literally people saying that in broad daylight that LGBT people should be tried for treason. The elementary school I went to may be turned into a school for disabled only, which is another step back for kids when you're sent to different schools. So they would, oh yeah, that's another thing. They're the bill. Okay, I got off track. Y'all are bringing me off track. Okay, so our right to our own fucking bodies, HIPAA laws, contraception, same-sex marriage, same-sex sex. Yes, that is right. You remember the don't ask, don't tell? That's what they want to bring back. They want to bring back the fact that you should not be able to love who you love in your own fucking home. They want to they're talking about out of marriage sex. I know some of the politicians, not the one in particular that did this, but some of the politicians are talking about interracial marriage. They want to resegregate schools. They are taking this to the fucking max. You remember history, right? You remember history? That that's what we're going back to. Separate water fountains for colored people. I am no better than my fellow people of color. In fact, if I went to a protest, I'd stand in front of y'all. Because I know I'm your sword and shield, and the police officers wouldn't. Oh, they'd probably beat me up a little bit, but they wouldn't do nearly as good enough, bad enough damage, whatever you want to call it, if I hadn't stepped in front of a person of color. That's another thing. If you are white or white appearing, and you go to a protest, and you see a cop coming after a person of color, bitch, you stand in front of them. You stand in front of that person. You do not let the police walk all over them. But yes, if people here, I see some people saying, "Yay, yay," not in our comment section, but the people who agree with this decision, they say, "Yay, the babies are gonna be saved." This includes ectopic pregnancies. This has already happened in the 3 days since it's been passed. There was, I can't remember if it was last night or the night before, in one of those states that the trigger laws have already gone into effect. Probably, I think it was 8 p.m., something along those lines. Lady comes in with an ectopic pregnancy, and because of the laws, that fucking day, the doctor said, I have to talk with my lawyer and make sure I do not lose my license for saving this woman. Took them 9 or 10 hours, and her ectopic pregnancy burst. So she didn't die, but she almost died. And then you have, I'm getting there. I'm getting to after the babies are born. I'm gonna get to after the babies are born. But then you have women. So they're controlling abortion drugs, right? So women who have a miscarriage and don't completely miscarry, the only way to miscarry fully is going to be the abortion drugs. That means if a woman spontaneously aborts and goes septic, doctors cannot save her. Well, what about threats to the baby and the mother? No, sorry, you gotta carry that baby to term. About going out of country or going out of state lines. Oh, I've got to give you a pregnancy test. You got to confirm your negative pregnancy test when you go. And if it's positive, you need to confirm that you're still pregnant when you come back. And if you're not, it will be the fact that you're not pregnant will come under a criminal investigation for fucking homicide. But no, we're not going to give you child care. We're not going to give you more food stamps. We're not going to supply you with maternity leave. We're not gonna give you a monthly stipend. We're not gonna give you any more than 2 weeks to 6 weeks of unpaid maternity leave. So you want to eat. So in other words, we're fucked. That's gonna be, if this had been law 20 years ago, I'd be dead. Absolutely. If this is fucking Odyssey, lay down. 4th of July is canceled. We are not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. We're not lighting off the boomy boom fireworks. We're not doing jack. What we're doing is we're sitting at home. We're eating our popcorn. And we're watching DVDs. We're not shopping online. We're not gonna just... Someone said not to have period apps because they can check. So that's the one thing. Absolutely get rid of your period tracking apps. There's one out there that I've already announced that their data is being encrypted, so nothing can be done. But men, people with penises, people without uteruses. Crow hush. Download period tracking apps and fill it with false data. That is the way that you're going to fuck them over. That's the way you're supporting us, those with uteruses, is by downloading the period tracking apps and filling it with absolute trash. Because then when they start selling that data, it's false. Yeah, try coming to a gay man's home and asking them about their cycle. So, don't buy anything. Don't go anywhere. If you have to work, fine. But buy your gas beforehand. Buy your food for your barbecue beforehand. We're not buying jack shit the 3rd through the 5th. We are shutting down the goddamn economy. Because this doesn't just affect women. This doesn't just affect non-binary. This doesn't just affect those with uteri. This affects fucking everyone. I mean, they're talking about removing condoms from the shells, for fuck's sake. So, also, along with that, some women are trying to stage a sex strike. Now, what does that mean? Well, if men everywhere across the U.S. does not get laid for an extended amount of time, what do you think is going to happen? Those with uteri, let's use our fucking powers. We have it. We have it in us. We have the ability to say no. And guess what? Men will complain, men will speak out, men will throw a goddamn tantrum, and that's the way we get anything, is by making men throw their tantrums. So, if you don't want to participate in that, that is absolutely a-okay. But those who do, thank you. Because sex is power. And as much as people want to say it's not and blah, blah, blah. No, sex is power. And if you take it away from the right people, you can get shit done. Trust me, everyone knows that a baby it's a zygote, it's a cluster of cells. Everyone knows that. So, I don't know exactly what else to say. I'm furious, so I'm willing to hear your thoughts, please. Just give me your thoughts, give me things that just talk to me, because this is fucked up. Because again, this isn't just about people with uteri. This isn't just about any of that. This is literally this is about every single fucking person in the United States of America. And if you're a father to a daughter, if you're an uncle, a cousin, yeah, but people don't even know they're pregnant until 6 to 9 weeks. Like, don't even pull that bullshit. And even then, man, they have reason. The United Nations, the NN, the fucking everyone who knows anything about reproductive rights say that abortion is a health care right. It is your right to get the health care you need for yourself. Without question. I don't care if you've had 18 abortions. I don't care if you've had 0 abortions. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. That's your right. That's your body. That's your choice. And honestly, you're probably if you do it for reasons of I don't feel like I'm a good mom and I don't want to put my kid into the adoption agency. I don't want to put them in foster care. Fucking good for you. Man, we already have way too many kids in foster care. Go and adopt some, man. Ugh. But again, this isn't just about abortion. It's about the right to privacy. It is about the HIPAA laws. It is about the fact that they are trying to bring back the don't ask, don't tell. So if you see someone who's gay go into their home with their partner and you see a little peeky peek, a flash of something through the window, that neighbor that saw that peeky peek flash, now not yet, but soon, if everything goes according to plan, that person would be able to go to the police and you would be arrested. Because we're going back to the you cannot be gay, it should be illegal for you to be gay. And yeah. So if you think that this is not going to affect you, I'm sorry, it is. This is affecting privacy in the bedroom. That was one of the court cases that came after Roe versus Wade. This is going to affect the LGBT community, and more people are going to unalive themselves than ever before. This is going to affect the trans community, the biracial community. This is going to affect literally every single person in the United States of America with their privacy. Because if you think that they're going to make these laws and then not go after something that you love, you're wrong. Because that's what it is. That's what we've come to. So again, don't buy anything from July 3rd to the 5th. Don't buy gas, don't buy food, don't just don't. And if you have to, go to a very small in-home store that is a small business run by someone in your neighborhood. Cuz darling, we can't afford to continue just accepting being stepped on. Bitch, do you know how much it is to travel outside the state to get an abortion? Do you know how much it is to travel out of state anywhere? Do you know how much it is to pick up everything and move? Do you know how much a paper trail will leave if you are in one of those states and you go into another state and oh bitch, oh look, you just came from that one state. You just came from that one state, and we have to report you. Um, disabled people traveling, absolutely. You know how hard it is for anyone to get anywhere at any time? People are poor. People of color are even more so targeted. And they're not just going to attempt to ban abortion in those states. They're not, they are, and let me put it this way. They did this because of church. Because some Christian fucking white straight males decided that they were going to make laws based on their religion, even though in the fucking Constitution it says separation of church and state, meaning church should not be able to make laws over anyone. Sure, they can control their little people, and I will call them little people because oof. And I say, if anyone's going to stage a protest, what they should do is a die-in. Because more people are going to die because of this, right? So what they did back in the day, when they knew what the fuck they were doing with their lives, not in this depressing new era, they would stage a die-in at churches. This would be a peaceful protest. This would be, you go into a church on Sunday where a shit ton of people are, you lay down on the floor, and you just lay there until the police come and arrest you and take you away. And sure, that's more scary nowadays because it's scary to get arrested. It just is. But they would just lie there, and they and think about that. Think about what they used to do for protesting, not just standing in the streets with signs, because they absolutely did that. They absolutely went to jail on the streets just like we're doing today. But they also did things that spoke volumes, like going into a goddamn church and laying down on the floor in the hundreds. Like, that spoke volumes. Being able to just show up and fuck some white people's lives up. So, don't buy jack shit on the 4th of July. Don't buy jack shit on the 3rd or the 5th of July. Wear black on the 4th of July. Support those who lost their rights. And speak up for yours. Because if you think this doesn't affect you, if you think that, well, even if you're part of those people that say, well, I'm glad because I would never get an abortion. I'm sorry, honey. If you had a miscarriage and some of that stayed inside you, you're dying. If you had an ectopic pregnancy, you're dying. If you had anything wrong with that baby and that baby would not be viable outside your womb, I'm sorry, you have to carry that fetus to full term with no knowledge. It's not going to make it longer than 2 seconds. So I'm sorry if this is triggering subject to some of you. If you don't support these views, it matters. It matters because thousands and thousands of people cannot move from these states where it is now banned to get life-saving treatment, to make a personal choice for your life. Because having a baby, changing your insides around, that is a life-altering choice to make, and it should be a choice. I don't care who here thinks that it shouldn't be. No, it's a fucking choice. So don't buy shit the 3rd through the 5th of July. We're going to shut down the goddamn economy. I know I've said that multiple times, but I want to get it across to the people who have recently come in, or the people that left and didn't hear me say it the first 3 times. Because this is bullshit. And if you think they're not going to go federal with this bullshit, you're wrong. They're planning on resegregating schools. Like, mm. Yeah. My body, my choice. My body, my voice. Stand up. Speak out. And don't fucking let people tell you what you can and can't do. If you need somewhere to come for a week or so, we got you covered. And there's doctors out there giving lists of other doctors that without question they will give you a hysterectomy. I don't know. They'll take everything out for you without question, without, like, they don't care how old you are, how many kids you've had, how many times you've been married. They'll take it out without question, and there's 150 of them in a list. You made it. That took a lot. I don't know how long we're here. We are here indeed. Welcome. Thank you. Supreme Court gave states the right to choose on behalf of their people who should and should not get an abortion without going through the Capitol. So House, Senate, and the President, they cannot pass it federally. So the Supreme Court is federal, but there's a lot more that they would have to do to make this a federal thing. They can't force states to ban abortion at this point. I don't care if people are using abortion as a method of birth control. I don't care. Go ahead. Have your 1,800 abortions. I don't care. I don't care because it's your body, your choice, and if you like raw dogging it and you're not gonna get that shit shut down because you think one day you might want a child, fine. I don't care because those people are making sure that they don't bring kids into a fucked up world. I don't care what your reason. I don't care what your reason for having an abortion is. I don't care if I don't care if you had sex and you're irresponsible. I don't care if you missed the date on the day after pill. I don't care if you just had fun and ended up getting a little too drunk and forgot a condom. I don't care if I don't care about any of that. It's your body. It's your choice. And if you decide you want to have 18 abortions, go and have 18 abortions. If you decide you want to have 8 children, fine. Abortion is a life-saving treatment. I don't know if you know this, but if someone has a miscarriage, guess what? If they don't expel all of that, guess what the treatment is? Abortion. If someone has an ectopic pregnancy, guess what the treatment for that is? Because the baby's not viable and cannot be transplanted to the uterus. Abortion. Guess what is none of your goddamn fucking business? A woman's discussions with her doctor. Abortion. And if you think that abortion is wrong, go and adopt the 400 some odd thousand children in it's considered abortion. And if you end up having a miscarriage and you need an abortion, they're banning those abortion drugs, so you could go septic and die. So it's considered abortion. Absolutely, it is. Yeah, birth control can be hard to get. And it's none of your goddamn business what a woman does with her body. It does not affect you directly. Exactly. If you don't like abortions, do not fucking get one. Period. And I wasn't planning on making a video for a few days because we're sick. But the day we got sick was the day that this was overturned. You want to know something, Daz? You want to know something? They're coming after contraception next. That means Plan B. That means your condoms. That means anything women can use, spermicides, uh, um, anything, anything a woman can use to prevent herself from getting pregnant. They're going after that next. So you wanna tell someone to do their research? Why don't you? Why don't you go do your research? Why don't you go look at see what they're actually trying to do? Because it is going to be a Handmaid's Tale up in this goddamn bitch, and we are not letting that happen. So, they've already taken our bodily autonomy away. It is going to be considered a homicide. It already is considered a homicide in some states. If you get an abortion, you will go to prison. If you go out state lines and you come back and there's any guessing that you may have had an abortion, prison. If you are going to go on a amusement park ride, you can be caught. let, let, let me find a song for you. Let me think of it first. Again, if you think this isn't gonna affect you, it fucking will. Sorry, I'm trying to find a song. I can't find it on YouTube. It looks like it hasn't gotten there yet. Let me see if I can find it before everyone leaves.
Of the land of inequity, of thee I sing. Land where my mothers cried, fought, bled, and sacrificed for rights which we are now denied. Let freedom ring. My country, 'tis of thee, land of inequity, of thee I sing. Land where my mothers cried, fought, bled, and sacrificed for rights which we are now denied. Let freedom ring. My country.
So, if that song doesn't hit home, I don't know what does. But literally, you are saying that it doesn't matter that your rights were taken away in certain states. Just go ahead and move to a different state. I'm sorry, but I'm I will fight for every single uterus owner, for every single person that will be, I don't know, oppressed in the coming weeks, days, years, no matter what. No matter what. I will fight for you because I am you. And so is every motherfucker in this goddamn country. Again, if you think this doesn't fucking affect you, guess what? It does. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit back and just tell people how narrow they are, how absurd it is to be upset over this? Or are you actually going to do something about it? Don't buy a thing. Don't buy a thing. July 3rd through the 5th. So this is basically a silent protest because they're arresting us in the goddamn streets and they want to make it harder for us to vote, right? So let's hit them where it hurts. This is the thought process behind the women's movement, behind the uterus movement. Hit them where it hurts. Let's make sure that we shut down this economy, all right? Let's all agree, everyone in the USA, to not buy jack shit. Don't. You buy ahead of time. You buy on the 2nd and the 6th. Because if we don't, sure, states are going to be saying, you come here, you come here. You can have abortion in my state. Canada's also opening up their border for us as well. Don't buy from Amazon. That's what you can do if you don't live in the U.S. Don't buy from Amazon. Don't buy from any American companies. But please, don't buy anything from the 3rd to the 5th because it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing with your life. We're fucked. And if you don't want to be fucked, no, that's my bad. Stop. If you don't want to be fucked, then do something about it and don't buy jack shit on the days that they say we're free. We celebrate our freedom. We're not free. We're not free in a land where many women, many uterus owners just lost their fucking freedom. There's many things in life. Dogs have more rights than some women now. Did you know that? Because if a dog has a dangerous pregnancy, guess what? They can get a fucking abortion. If a pet parent does not want babies, they can get an abortion. Dogs have more rights than ladies, and guess what? Guess what animals are called that people control their reproductive rights? Guess what they're called? Guess what they're called? Livestock. We're not livestock. We're not. We're gonna say fuck you to those who think that we are. Yeah. So if you have anything else to say, please go ahead and say it now, because I am running out of steam and I am angry and I am tired. Even our mom said she regrets voting Donald Trump now. We told people that this was going to happen. We did. We told so many people. Women are going to lose their rights. LGBT people are going to be murdered in the streets. We're going to lose our right to marriage. We're going to lose XYZ. Oh, no, you're just being fucking dramatic. Who's dramatic now? All right. I'm done with my rant. If you guys have anything else, drop it in the comments. I will be lurking, but I will, I gotta go. So,